Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And for today's video, this video is another part of our deep dive series. And today we are going to talk about the defending Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots. So we're just going to talk about various things about them, from their draft to their current team to what their outlook is for the upcoming season as they begin their title defense. So first, what we're all going to do, we're just going to go through each game. We're all going to predict the game, and then we'll see how we each have the Patriots finishing this year and compare and contrast that. So
Let's get into it, baby.
let's do that. All right, who wants to call off the games?
I did it last time. Does anyone else want to do it this time? I can call it.
All right,
All
we
right.
do that.
All right, first game. Steelers at Patriots. Give that one to the Patriots.
That's a win for them.
That's same for me. Next game, Patriots at Dolphins.
Ooh.
The Patriots.
They're
It's
due-
tough to give them a win, but I gotta give
Yeah.
the
First
Patriots.
breaks.
They're due for a
They
win,
will win
in
in
Miami.
Miami. Jets at Patriots. I gotta give the Patriots.
That's a win.
That's Patriots winning.
I got Patriots at Bills.
That's a loss.
That's.
I agree with you, Ryan. That is a
Yeah.
loss.
I'm gonna say so too.
Wow. Next game, we have Patriots at Redskins. That's a win for me.
Yeah, and that'll be closer than you
That'll
think, though. That'll be closer than you
Depends on whether just Wayne Haskins is playing. Every
think. True,
time.
true. It's in
Next
Washington.
game, we have Giants at Patriots. I say Patriots win that game.
I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with you.
Next game, we have Patriots at Jets. I think the Patriots win that game.
I'll agree with that.
I think they lose that game.
All right, I can go with that. I don't
So
say
they've
that
lost
too.
2 division games for you now.
Next,
Yeah.
this is gonna be a fun one. We have Browns at Patriots. I say Patriots win just because it's at home.
Patriots.
I agree, but that'll be a lot closer than it would have been for a couple years ago.
Yes. Next game, we have Patriots at Ravens. I say Patriots win that.
That's a win.
I'm saying Patriots as well.
Week 10. I'm sorry, that's a bye week. Week 11 is Patriots at Eagles. That's gonna be a fun one. I say Patriots win that game. I really hope they win that game.
I think they lose that game. 41-30. No, I'm kidding. It's not gonna be 41-33, but I think they lose that game. It's
I
just-
agree with Ryan. I say they lose that
Yeah.
game.
All right. Next game, we have Cowboys at Patriots. I say Patriots win that game.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna say the Patriots lose that game.
All right.
I think that's gonna be one of those weird upsets where Dallas just goes in and beats them.
It's weird that didn't have any of those with the Texans. Next game, Patriots
Excuse
at
you.
Texans. I say Patriots win.
I say
agree with
Patriots win.
that. Next one, we know Ryan's opinion on this. Actually, I don't know Ryan's opinion. This is gonna be a fun one. I was thinking something else. We have Chiefs at Patriots. I say Patriots just because it's at
Yeah.
Patriots.
I'm saying Chiefs.
All right, that's fun. Next one, week 15, we have Patriots at Bengals. That's Patriots.
That's a win.
Patriots.
Next one, week 16, Bills at Patriots. I'm gonna say Patriots since they're at Gillette.
Yep.
And
Patriots.
week 17 is Dolphins at Patriots.
Patriots.
I give it to the Patriots.
I give it to the Patriots as well.
All right. So Tyler, where do you have them coming out to? What the record is? What's the record?
So my record for them is 13-3. That's a pretty good record. I feel like that is something that I would agree with. Obviously, me picking the picks, but if I were to hear the Patriots went 13-3 at the end of the season, if we just did a flash forward, I would not be too surprised by that. I mean, we're going to talk about it more later, but there's so many pieces to this team. 13-3 sounds pretty accurate for the Patriots.
Yeah, I was just one below. I said 12-4, and I think I had them losing 2 division games on the road because I really think the rest of that AFC East is slowly but surely getting better. Because there's Tom Brady and then there's 3 quarterbacks that are entering their second year as pro. Counting Josh Rosen for the Dolphins, assuming he's going to start, which I think he will. Looking at their games here, I think they'll be able to win a lot of these non-division games. That Philly game, I think that'll be a great game. But I think Carson Wentz will just find a way. And then this Dallas game, this is a game in New England. I think this might be a game that kind of catches New England off guard a little bit. It's almost like, okay, we lost. Now we can't lose again. We are the Patriots. We don't lose back-to-back weeks. But I think they will. And then this Chiefs game here, Week 14, this is one that I'm really going to watch. And maybe in a couple months when I make my Super Bowl predictions, maybe this prediction flip-flops. Who knows? But right now, just because it's at home, I'm going Patriots. But that game is going to be a big game for the AFC playoff picture. Mark my words. So I have them going 12-4. I think that gets them a division win and a first-round bye.
And speaking of the Chiefs-Patriots games, I have actually decided to change my opinion. And I think the Chiefs will win that game. So that puts my record at 14-2 for the Patriots, which
Wow.
is, I mean, that was It was one above yours. I don't know why it's a wow, but okay.
Well, if you didn't change it, they would have been
15-1.
I think
Yeah.
Patriots are a team that sometimes lose random games. Of course, this is not some random game, but I don't know. The Patriots are a really good team, but I mean, some of their schedule is easy, some of it's not easy. So it's going to be fun to see how the Patriots roll this year.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys want to start with the depth chart for the offense and the defense?
Say
Go to the
depth?
draft?
Yeah, whoa.
You
Yeah,
said
okay.
Whatever, same thing or not same thing.
Gosh.
You know what I meant.
This is
Do you want to start with the offense and the defense, and then go to the draft, or just,
Yeah, I could talk about the offense.
Alright.
I think it's just, I mean,
What?
that doesn't matter. Whatever floats our boat.
Okay.
just start from the left side? So Jordan, you
Yeah,
start.
there you go. What were you talking? You got defense, though, right?
Yes, I'm talking about the Patriots'
Yeah.
defense. Now, the Patriots' defense has always been a defense that, although it's not always the greatest defense in the NFL, although at some points it was pretty good defense. It's always been a defense that you play against, and it's just so hard to game against because what Bill Belichick does, and of course the defensive coordinators, whatever New England does, their defense they always know what defense they need to play against certain teams. So it's so hard to predict the defense that they're going to play, and not to mention they have a couple guys that, although they may not be star players, they're pretty well known players, and they just, once they're put all together, they just make it work, and the chemistry just all flows together. And I think that's something that Bill Belichick does best of any coach in the league. So just talk about a few players. A lot of people know Dante Hightower. Of course, he's the linebacker. He's a very good linebacker. He's been with them for a decent amount of time, and he's always a big influence. And then we have Stephon Gilmore, one of the best corners in the league. So there's really not much more to say about that. Of course, two really good safeties. You got Patrick Chung and Devin McCourty. Both, they're very good safeties. Not really much else to say about that. I think possibly one of the best safety tandems in the league, in my opinion here. And then recently acquired out of actually retirement is Michael Bennett. He decided to come back to play in the Patriots, trying to win a Super Bowl. Can't blame him for doing that. So the defense, it looks almost just like any other year. And as we saw in this previous Super Bowl game, that defense against the Rams, it can turn on whenever it needs to. And I think that defense is going to be maybe not the best defense in the league, but it's going to be up there, middle of the pack, maybe top 10, like it usually is. I think the Patriots' defense is going to be pretty good this year. Patriots complete trade. Oh, it's a trade.
It was a trade.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe got the Bennett brothers mixed up there.
Yeah, I did,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he was on the Eagles team that beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
That's my bad, guys.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Just
But
trying to help him
You
out.
had to look it up, too. So
No, I had to look it up too, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help him out. All right, so
thank you for that.
no problem, anytime. So you got anything else on their defense?
Really not much else to me. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be top 10 defense.
All right, now flipping sides, I'm gonna talk about the offense for a little bit. I'm just gonna go in order that this depth chart is on. Looking at their wide receivers, Julian Edelman is a guy that's proven to be clutch, especially in the postseason. Then they got Demaryius Thomas, who I think is kind of an underrated addition for them. He's a guy that when he's healthy, he's coming off that Achilles injury he suffered with the Texans in Week 16 against Philadelphia. But, I think that he'll do great things with Tom Brady once he gets back healthy. I would be very surprised if he's back Week 1 just because of how late that injury in the season was for him. But, I think if he's healthy and he's kind of like one of those veteran receivers that Tom Brady could kind of give one little oomph to kind of finish off his career strong and possibly with a Super Bowl ring or deep playoff run. Then third is...
Don't forget about him either.
I know, I'm going to get there too. And then third on this side of the wide receivers, Dontrell Inman, guy in the Colts, I think he'll do some nice things there. Then, obviously, the first round pick, N'Keal Harry out of Arizona. He's a guy with great size and speed. He was definitely right up there with the top receivers in the draft, in my opinion. He'll do great things there. I thought the Patriots might go quarterback or tight end in the first round, but considering T.J. Hawkinson and Noah Fant were gone at this point, I thought that was a good pick. Then you got Philip Dorsett, also former Colt. I like it. And then the running back corps, you got Sonny Michel, who did great things, Rex Burkhead, Brendan Bolden. And then they also got Damian Harris in the draft, so add him to that. And then...
There it is.
There he is, yes. And then I just want to talk about, obviously, the guy who came out of retirement was Ben Watson, but I think isn't he suspended for a few games?
Look it up.
I believe he is. Jordan's gonna,
I think he
he's
is.
gonna fact check me. He's a great guy on and off the field. He's coming back to try and win another ring with the Patriots. And then really their offensive line. I think Isaiah Wynn, a first-round pick from 2018, he's coming back. He was hurt all last year, missed his rookie year. He's coming back. I think that'll be a great addition to the Patriots offensive line, and it was already a solid unit, but I think Isaiah Wynn will make it probably better than it's ever been, and Tom Brady's going to be Tom Brady. No need to overanalyze that. Expect this offensive unit for the Patriots to be right up there with the best again.
So just to finish up the fact check that I have, he will be suspended. He's suspended for 4 games for using a drug called testosterone, which is legal substance, which just helps the body be able to take hits and stuff that you take in the NFL. Which I mean, we could do. I don't know if everyone's heard things about what Chris Long has said about that after he has recently retired, but. I don't know, maybe we could do a video on that, maybe have that as a part of the video. I'm not going to go into it too much, but could be something we see a lot more in the NFL, seeing less and less PED suspensions. We'll see.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Jordan.
You're welcome.
All right, so now my job is to talk about the offseason here. You guys talked about already, the trade with Michael Bennett was one thing. I got a couple other things listed here. They had a couple departures. Dwayne Allen left, Trent Brown left, Trey Flowers, Cordero Patterson were some main ones. They also signed Brandon Bolin and Matt Lacoste. They re-signed Jason McCourty in the offseason, so that was a good re-sign for them. And also their draft. They had a pretty good draft, in my opinion. Starting in the first round with N'Keal Harry, wide receiver out of Arizona State. This is a guy I was very high on throughout the draft process, mainly because of his height and the way he could go up and get a ball. I know the knock on him was his route running. However, I think that his size is going to just take the NFL by storm. He's going to do so much with Tom Brady.
Agreed.
Hopefully they can have chemistry because, as we know, Tom Brady is not very good at having chemistry with new receivers. But also the Patriots have not drafted a wide receiver in the first round for a very long time, so they think very highly of N'Keal Harry. Second round, this pick is probably just as good as the first round given their position. This is 45th overall. Joe Juan Williams, cornerback from Vanderbilt. This was a guy that I wouldn't have been absolutely shocked to see go in the first round. Obviously, I don't think he was a first-round prospect. He was a second-round prospect, but a very good pick by them in the second round. Third round, they got Chase Winovich, a linebacker. There weren't too many linebackers that were outstanding in the draft. It was really just Devin Bush and Devin White. Chase Winovich was at the top of the tier of linebackers, so good pick there in the third round. Another third-round pick they had, Damian Harris, running back from Alabama. Now they're just continuing to stack their backfield even more with this pick. We've seen so many running backs come to New England recently, just adds to it. Damian Harris will be a solid running back for that offense. Another third-round pick, 100 overall, Yadni Kahuste. I'm not sure if that's right. Out of West Virginia, offensive tackle to help with the offensive line. They lost Trent Brown, so that could help. Another tough name. I believe this was in the fourth round, yes. Jalte Verhold. I don't know too much about him, so I'm not going to talk about him that much. All right, round 4. This is a big one. 133rd overall, Jarrett Stidham coming out of Auburn. This is obviously one of the, not one of the top. He's a quarterback out of Auburn, and not one of the top QBs. Obviously, he went in the fourth round, but I could see him being someone like Jimmy Garoppolo that they have as their backup. Who else did they get last year too?
Danny Etling on LSU in the 7th round.
That's right. But I feel like Jarrett Stidham will be the backup quarterback in New England. It could even be a Jimmy Garoppolo type, especially being under such coaching from Bill Belichick. I'm going to scroll through here and see if I want to talk about anything else. They got Jake Bailey, a punter. He was one of the top punters. And that's really, there's other picks too, but those are just the main ones that I wanted to hit on. So there is the offseason for the Patriots. Overall, we all think they're going to be a pretty good team. Does anyone else have anything else to say?
I'm just going to talk just for a few seconds more about Watson because I think this is kind of interesting. So what happened was he ended up taking the drugs after he had retired. So he decided to get his body back in shape to take the drugs, not thinking that he was going to play anymore. But then this year team showed interest in wanting him to play. So he obviously talked to those teams, knew and he had to take a drugs test, so he knew what the consequences were going to have to be. But he decided to play, knowing what the consequences were going to happen. So you can't be mad at Ben Watson for doing that. But so that's just a little bit more about that situation. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
All right, anyone else?
I just got one more question for everyone.
All right.
So you talked about Jarrett Stidham there, how they got in the 4th round. Do you think he will ever be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots? Tyler, we'll start with you.
Unless we see something weird like what they did with Jimmy Garoppolo trading him, I feel like he'll be the backup quarterback. And what we've seen from New England with backup quarterbacks, Tom Brady was a backup quarterback for a while there. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett be backup quarterbacks and play great in New England. Jacoby Brissett not as much as Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jacoby Brissett was their 3rd string, and he still is an outstanding quarterback. They do such a great job of training quarterbacks to just be amazing. And I feel like Jarrett Stidham is just the next on that list. So I do think that he will be the starter once Brady retires, unless they end up drafting someone else. We'll see.
I believe that if Brady decides to retire after this year, I believe that they will try to go for a different quarterback. I don't think they would base their career off of 1 year with a backup quarterback. I think they'd try to find somebody with more experience or try to draft high for a good quarterback. But I think if Brady stays for this year and next year and they get some time with him behind him, I think that he will eventually become possibly a starter for that team if they like what they see.
He's gonna get a chance eventually.
I agree. I think he will get his chance. I think he's their future right now. I think he's their guy. I think they got him in the mid rounds. I think they liked him. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes the helm in the post Brady era.
All right, so there's our deep dive into the Patriots. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below which team you want us to do a deep dive into next. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.